Hey guys, ¿qué pasó? What's going on? This is Jalapablo. I want to do a couple recaps on some gains that the trading group has made so far this week. Well, we have kind of like a low period right now with Bitcoin kind of deciding what it wants to do. I think it's going to go down some more. We're going to see some more downside action. I think it's all there intra range as far as supply and demand. There's been clear predominance of supply. I've released charts on TradingView, and I've also spoke about this on the prior video about what I believe is happening with Bitcoin and the market sentiment in general for cryptocurrencies. I think we're about to go and see another retest of the lows. It's just a matter of time. We may experience a little bit more of an upside. We may even go to the 1618 Fibonacci as far as Bitcoin goes if you're watching Bitcoin on the 4-hour. But then after that, I think it's a UTAD, which is an upthrust after distribution. It's a Wyckoff distribution range where it's a bull trap. They trap you in that last pump going up, and then you buy into the pump, and the market maker composite operators are selling into the pump, and you're buying their wares. And what happens is the bull traders get stuck at the top. The bottom falls out, and we begin to see the LPSYs, last point of supplies, as the price action begins to mark down lower and lower and lower with increasing spread and supply. That's what I think we're going to see. But before that happens, we may see more upside to entice the FOMO to just really pour gasoline on the FOMO and get more noobs in chasing the green fire before they get trapped. So that's what I think is going to happen. But so while we're waiting, and we're not buying right now, I'm not buying the pump. I don't buy pumps anyways. I buy the blood. I don't buy the green. I buy the red. So I'm certainly not buying anything right now. But we are finding little hidden gems, little momentum plays amongst the altcoins, and so I want to share a few with you right now. That the group, we've kind of milked some of these and made, as you can see, we made some pretty handsome profits on most of them. The first one we can look at is, well, what do we have here? ApeCoin. So ApeCoin was a chart that I put out in my group. And I also released on TradingView, on my public account on TradingView, swinging ApeCoin. So this was the original chart here that I released. This is back on the 8th of July. And we see a pretty typical, if you know about pattern recognition, this should have just jumped right out at you. It jumped out at me, and that's why I marked this one as a potential runner before I actually uploaded it. And what you want to look at and take notice of is this lateral kind of spread that's I say lateral, it's a narrow spread, but it's also on a slight incline where the lows are on a gradual incline, but in a symmetrical line. Like you could draw a line beneath it going up, and so you have the higher lows, and then you have the lower highs, and that forms sort of like an arrowhead pattern. But the main thing you want to look at is to know that this is going to mark up, because these are symmetrical patterns, and symmetrical patterns can go either way. Really, it just depends on the trend. So just because you see a symmetrical pattern in a bear trend, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a reversal at the end, at the confluence or the apex of the symmetrical pattern. Usually what happens is it's just a continuation of the trend. However, in this case, I saw that as the lows of the price action were riding up this micro trend here, see this dotted line, that's the micro trend, I began to notice that supply was decreasing as we got up here. You see this supply predominance, how the supply is getting smaller and smaller, and then from this area up, see it topped out here, came back down. You see this Elliott wave, this corrective wave comes back down to microtrend support, and as it continues the climb up the microtrend, we begin to see increasing demand volume. Now, demand, of course, is the buying power, and that's the green bars in the volume. We see them steadily increasing as the price action ever so slightly increases. It's also so we see a correlation instead of divergence there, and that kind of clued me in that this thing is probably gonna pop. Now the thing is, you don't want to stay in these very long, not in a counter trend, not when Bitcoin is like this on a counter trend. You want to get in and get out, and that's why I recommend setting the limit cells at the 618, at the 1618, this area here, which I call the golden Fibonacci. This is the golden fib ratio. This is usually where the price marks up to, or flashes at least. You can, if you set a limit cell, a prudent limit cell right beneath it, you can usually get cashed out of the casino. You don't got to screw around with anything. You don't got to worry about it distributing on you. How long should you stay in? That's what I do, and I usually end up netting anywhere between 10 and 30% on these quick flashes. But you got to know when it's going to flash, and usually when you see this spread coming to a bottleneck position within this arrowhead pattern, it's usually going to shoot, as long as the volume beneath it jibes. So that's why you have to take the VSA into consideration, the volume spread analysis. So anyway, if you play it out, so I released this on the 8th of July, and then we played it out, and as you see, it actually did mark up, came back down again, and retested the lower. If you were to draw a horizontal line here, this would be trading range support. It went down, retested support, came back up to the trading range resistance, and just went right through, and it went a lot higher than the 618, as you can tell. It went all the way up to the 2.618, where it's retracing to the 2. So the new fib zone up here, the 1 fib through the 2.618 has become the new trading range, but I already got out. I got out at the 1.618 because I'm not going to take my chances in this one. And so this is APE coin. So on this one, I didn't make as much as I thought I would. I got out early. I got spooked. I made 5% on it. 5% is 5%, and this is actually the lowest trade for me this week. So had I stayed in a little longer, yeah, I would have made bank on this one. But I got out, and so but that was the worst one for me. And then we have YF2. YF2 was one that just, here we go, YF2 momentum. This was a chart I put out on the 14th. So today is the 22nd, so it was the 14th, so 6 days ago. 6, 7, 8 days ago. And I released this to my group, and then I put this chart out, and same thing. You see, like, the riding up the microtrend support, coming up, testing the, bouncing off the 1 Fibonacci back down, and it's staying in this channel. If I drew like a top microtrend resistance, we'd have what's called a regression trend. But instead, I just did the support on a trend line. And so if you play it, as you know, it went all the way up to. I saw that it would mark up. Same thing with the increasing demand predominance in the vertical bar volume. It shot up to the 1.618. I even circled it here, and on this one, I made 12.7%. So ApeCoin and YF2, and the next one was Bluzelle. Bluzelle marked up today. Bluzelle was one I've been sitting on a while. This has been up since July 9th that I released to my trading group, and I just sat on it. I entered a preliminary. Of course, I saw what clued me in on this one was the accumulation spike, this large accumulation spike, large effort, a hell of a lot of effort with little result. And what this usually means is that in a lateral trading range like this is just market makers testing the demand, and then they come back up. There's not a lot of supply that comes back. It maintains what's, I call this yellow line here, this is called TRM, or trading range midpoint. It keeps hugging the trading range midpoint. It doesn't go up through, it doesn't go down under, just stays along it, slowly building up, again slightly hugging a little bit above the micro trend support. And then of course we have these volume spikes that, you know, two preceding it and two following it, of major predominance. I mean, look at the demand in comparison to the supply, just over towers. So I said, yeah, this is going to shoot. We need to put this chart up, and we need to mark off a limit cell at the 1.618. And we played it. It took a while, but it made it. It took so I released it on the 9th. Today's the 22nd, so we had to sit on this preliminary for a while, but it did. It shot right up as if on cue to the 618 you see right here, and then it bounced back down, and it bounced off microtrend support. So I think it's going to keep riding it. If Bitcoin doesn't pull everything down, we can continue to see further upside with further volume, and we do have climactic volume here in demand. So this was a legit micro rally. So, and this one I made 19.36% on it. So that was worth, our patience was rewarded on Bluzelle. And then the last one I want to talk about is TRB. This is this is one I didn't get a chance to upload to YouTube, or to rather to TradingView. I just released this right to my group on the Discord. This is one that I was looking at, and I even denoted the flash zone limit sell, and I saw this narrow spread trending in the symmetrical pattern. I saw the supply and demand both tapering in kind in the vertical bar, which denotes absorption. So I knew that the market makers were buying this stuff up, and they were just maintaining this real narrow trading range to keep it on the down low on the campaign, so as to not alert other market makers that it's about to blow. And so I figured that by the time it hit the end of this confluence, maybe we'd see a flash up to the, and I didn't say 618, I figured it would go even higher than the 618 to the 2, anywhere between the 2 and the 2.72. And so I put this up, and I let people know, hey, this is one I'm getting in, you might be interested. And not even, I guess, 30 minutes after I put this up, that's what happened. So it did it, and you look at the flash, look at the wick flash. It went right up to the 2.272. This one was a nice one. We made 17.35% on this in 30 minutes. We got cashed out of the casino. So for a grand total of everything, with ApeCoin being the lowest, a measly 5%. But you know, all of these marked up. So we're 4 for 4 for a cumulative total of 54.48%. Not bad, not bad. And Bitcoin's still in a counter trend, and you know, I don't necessarily recommend going along in a bear market, but you can make money in bear markets if you know what the hell you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then you know, you're better off just sitting it out. But on some of these momentum drives, if you know how to read the volume spread analysis, and you're very prudent with your limit sells, then you can get in and out, and you can make a nice little chunk of change. So that's what I got right now. Just so I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to go. I hope you like this. I hope you got something out of it. I try to upload stuff that you know, has substance in it. You're never going to see me shilling or doing any kind of goofy bullshit like a lot of others do. Just pure volume price action, wyckoff, and just money. I'm all about making money in the crypto markets, and I'm also very much involved in DeFi, and getting involved in DeFi as well. So I got both, you know, on both sides of the fence here, DeFi and CeFi. So we got the swing trades, and then we got DeFi. So, but right now I just want to focus on CeFi, and help some of these people out with their swings, so that they can take the money and invest the money into DeFi and make some passive income. So that's the idea with all this. So anyway, if you got anything out of this, I appreciate it if you give me a like. I don't give a shit if you subscribe or not. I don't really care about that stuff. But just let me know that at least you're listening to this, and you're getting something out of it. And if you have any questions, go ahead, put it in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to address those questions when I get a free moment. All right, guys, you take care, be safe, and adios. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.